Good morning, everybody, and welcome to this webinar today, which is about Hawana Salalah in Oman, a fantastic destination, if you ask me. Just a few practical things before we start. This webinar will be recorded, so you can share it with your colleagues afterwards, or you can look at it once more if you want to see what we have talked about today. Also, in the screen that you watch, there's a Q&A button. So if you have any questions during the webinar, you can tap your question there, and we will take them in the end of the webinar to follow up. But I will not take much more of your time, because with me today we have Chris, who is a regional sales director of sales from the destination, and Chris knows all about Hawana Salalah and Oman. So I'll just leave it to you, Chris, and I hope you will join the webinar. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Peter. So let me just make my screen full. So yeah, welcome to Hawana Salalah. Welcome to Oman. Hawana Salalah is the most southern tip of Oman, and this borders onto the Arabian Sea and the Indian Ocean. So Salalah is quite a unique destination in itself. As you see in the map here on the right, the outline of Oman and where we're located. It pretty much has, let's say, two seasons. What we call the European or the winter sun season, which is from mid-October until, let's say, beginning of May, and that's when the weather is perfect beach weather, average temperature 32 degrees Celsius throughout, low humidity. So it's a really nice time to get away, especially when you're from the cold Nordic countries, when temperatures are well below zero. The other season, we call it the Kharif season. This is a monsoon season. So again, due to the location of Salalah, it catches the monsoons of the Indian Ocean, and there is a mountain range just behind Salalah. If I just go back, which holds in the moisture, the humidity, the rains, and the whole destination turns green, very sort of subtropical, waterfalls, wadis. Average temperature in the summer months drops down to 24. So it's a very different destination. But it's not our European season again, because again, in the summer, you want to visit the beaches and not the rain after a long winter. So coming over to our destination, which is called Hawana Salalah. This is an area over here of the master plan. It's an area of 11 square kilometers. We're located roughly about 25 minutes drive from from Salalah Airport, and around 20 minutes from Salalah town. This obviously it's the master plan. The whole project is not fully developed, but we have developed roughly 35% of the project. So the area here where the marina is, our hotels are located around this area, around the marina, and then residential apartments and villas. And then we also do have an aqua park just over here. So the rest of the destination is under development. It doesn't affect our guests. Obviously, these are far off in different areas. So our hotel guests are concentrated around the marine area and then the open beaches. So as I move along, so this would be what Salalah looks like in the summer. As I said, during Kharif season, so you've got the rivers and waterfalls coming down, and then the perfect weather for our beach holiday. So, you know, as I said, November till April. It's an aerial picture of the Salalah town here, and our open beaches. It's again, you'll see from the pictures, it has a bit of the Zanzibar vibes, again, during Kharif. And I say Zanzibar vibes because, as I said, it's a bit more subtropical. You're seeing here coconut trees. There's banana plantations around the destination. It's not your typical GCC dry, arid destination like in the UAE or Qatar, where you're going to get the palm trees. So it is a bit more of a subtropical destination. This is the Salalah. So our hotel here, it's built to replicate a sort of a Mediterranean Arabian village. It's built within different clusters of buildings, so it's spread out over quite a big area. And we have these are man-made lagoons, which are open to the natural sea. So actually there are fish swimming around these lagoons. And the hotel, it's 422 rooms. But again, as I mentioned, you can see the hotel, it's spread out. So it doesn't feel like, one big main hotel with hundreds of guests. It is a very big area for guests to explore and discover. Obviously, our private beaches, 6 food and beverage outlets, recreational facilities, and a spa. Here you can see what the only area I would say this is the main building over here, and then our lobby and restaurant. Obviously, a couple of paddle courts and tennis courts, which are quite popular at the moment. Paddle is. These are typical designs of our rooms, and as you saw, the rooms are located on the floor, which are out to or first or second floor maximum. So again, it's a low-rise development, and all rooms will either have stairs on the floor or a balcony. In the spa, we also do Turkish and Moroccan hammam. This obviously is chargeable. And here you see again the lobby area and some of our restaurants. From this is taken from the main area. This is our beach. So the beach is roughly 1.2 the whole beachfront of Hawana Salalah, the length from the first map that I showed, it's a length of 7 kilometers. Now, obviously, as I said, it's not all fully developed. Roughly 1.5 on this side and another kilometer on the other side, so maybe around 2.5 kilometers. It's open. I guess can walk or run that length of the beach, but obviously it's not manned at that time. Then we move over to the other side of the marina. So we have the Fanar Hotel and Residence. So the marina sits in the middle. We have Rotana to the left, if you're looking at it from the sea, and then Fanar to the right. The Fanar Hotel, it's also quite a large hotel, 595 keys with 4 dining outlets, 3 swimming pools, and again a spa. And similar to Rotana, it is spread out around 4 clusters of buildings. So again, it's not in one main building. Slightly more modern design than Rotana, but still keeping within that arabesque designs. Some of the rooms overlook the marina, others overlook the ocean. And then here we have the infinity pool of Fanar. Some rooms, some suites with jacuzzis on the balcony. That would pretty much be of a standard room. And again, all rooms would have a balcony. Obviously water sports, but here you can actually see the mountain range behind that I mentioned at the beginning. So actually during the season, those mountains are fully green. So it's a very different destination. From here, we've got one of our roof bars, and then actually just behind the couple taking the selfie is Jumeirah. This is our boutique hotel, which I'll come to next. At Fanar, we have actually three different beaches. Fanar would be a bit more suited to families, I would say. One of the beaches within the two wave breakers of the marina, so it's quite calm, shallow waters, so it's great for the families. Then we have a second one, which is just after so just behind the first wave breaker, and then we have the third beach, which is open to the open ocean. So that's obviously better for stronger swimmers. A lot of areas, I mean, obviously for food and beverage. This is Jumeirah. So Jumeirah is located in the heart of the marina, and that just behind is the Rotana. So again, everything is in very close proximity. Behind, from let's say where the angle of this picture was taken, would be Fanar, a bit to the left. In Jumeirah, it's an adults-only hotel, boutique hotel, which has a couple of swimming pools. It's the only hotel that doesn't have its own beach, but again, our guests can use the beach of Rotana, which is a 5-minute walk to the beach there. So this is 64 keys. Officially, it's a 4-star, but as I said, we operate it as a boutique hotel, as a 5-star property, but obviously due to the size and no tennis courts, it's rated as a 4-star. Then we move over to this. So this is the second pool on the other side of the building, and that's overlooking again part of the waterways that go into the Rotana lagoons. The hotel entrance, and these are the beds, so lighter colors, pastel light blues. Obviously, a couple of outlets at Jumeirah. So this is great for honeymooners, those who want to be away from screaming kids during school holidays. So it really is a great option. So a lot of dining options. Again, this is one of the rooms from Jumeirah overlooking the marina and actually overlooking some of the rooms of the Fanar Hotel. And then finally, this is our fourth hotel, the newest. We opened this 2 years ago, the Club by Fanar. So this is our premium 5-star property. It's 23 keys, obviously a nice big open infinity pool overlooking the open beach. And then we've got a one restaurant here. The room designs a bit cleaner, lines a bit more sort of bohemian, chilled vibes again. Rooms on the ground floor with the terrace out. The restaurant here, Waves. So this serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner for the club by Fanar. And there are the rooms obviously on the first floor. So again, open sea, open views. And all is low rise, ground floor, first and second maximum in some of our wings. Recreational facilities, many, a lot of options that you could do in Salalah and on our property. Obviously, as I said, the paddle, but kids clubs, hiring bikes, water sports, yoga, horse riding. So yeah, there's a lot to do. Kids club or families, my recommendation on which hotel would be. The rooms are slightly larger. The kids club is larger. It's a bit more compact. Whereas Rotana, because of the landscaping, the size of the distance of some of the clusters of rooms would require a bit more walking. although we do have club cars, buggies for use to the restaurant or taken to the pool. But it is easier to get around Fana if you're with the family. But yeah, we have recreational teams apart from kids and animations for the kids. We also have a lot of activities for adults in the recreation. Organizes tennis or paddle competitions, beach. So you can get involved as much as you want, or just chill out there as little as you want. Also, in the marina, there are fishing trips. If guests want to charter a boat, they can go out fishing. And again, as I said, water sports activities are available. Then, like I mentioned at the beginning, this is our aqua park. So our aqua park is one of the biggest actually in Oman. This is located. It's roughly a 5-minute transfer with a shuttle bus. It's located at the top of our destination of Hawana Salalah. We operate shuttle buses from both Fanar Hotel and Rotana on an hourly basis. And as I said, it's 5-minute transfer from the hotels. Our guests who are on all-inclusive have free access to the water park. We also have areas for the younger children, and then again the slides for the older children. Like in most water parks around the world, it's height with the height restrictions for them to ride the slides. There is also like a food hall or a cafeteria where guests can choose to have lunch if they want. But again, it's your typical water park type of dining, burgers, nuggets, pizzas, things like that. If guests want to go back to the hotel for a full meal, again, the shuttle bus is available. So on the food and beverage side, we do operate fully all-inclusive. It's the only board we do offer from October till May. We do offer two options. So there's the all-inclusive, and then there's the premium all-inclusive. The all-inclusive obviously have 16 restaurants around the resort, around the destination, and it's a full dine-around. Our guests could be staying in Fanar Hotel. They can choose to eat in Rotana or vice versa. Again, you could be staying in Rotana. You could go to the pool or the beach of Fanar. So we operate it as one destination, not individual hotels. So again, give the flexibility to the guests to discover the whole destination and the whole resort rather than just one hotel. So different types of cuisines, different options, obviously. We do a lot of romantic dinner setups on the beach, proposals, even weddings. Obviously, the private dining is at an extra cost. And that's our destination in a short nutshell. We'll play a drone video just for you to get a better idea of the area, and then we can have some questions just after that. All right. Are you going to play the video? Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Chris, for the presentation. It looks amazing, and I know it is. I was so lucky to visit already. It is a truly amazing destination. It doesn't seem like there are any questions in the chat right now, so I can just start out, Chris. Weather-wise, because I know when people think about Middle East and compared to Dubai in the summertime, it can easily get 40 to 50 degrees in Dubai, and for us Scandinavians get way too hot. But what's the take on the weather in Salalah?
So, like I mentioned at the beginning, so during the summer months, the traditional summer months being, let's say, June to September, this is a season called the Kharif season. So it's a monsoon season. It's raining. There are wadis, there are waterfalls, there's rivers coming down. The sea is quite rough. Actually, the sea is closed for swimming during the Kharif season because there's strong currents and big waves. So it's not your typical beach destination. It's not your beach weather. We get very busy with visitors from the GCC, from Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Kuwait, because at that period, when it's 45 degrees in the rest of the GCC, in Salalah, it's 24 degrees. And as I said, it's raining and overcast. So it's great for us living in this region just to get away from the heat for a few days. The weather where we really promote the destination, which is ideal for the beach weather, is from mid-October until beginning of May. And the average temperature is around 32 degrees during the day, around 26 in the evening, not too humid. So it's a perfect weather. The sea temperature is warm. So yeah, it's really a great place to visit in the winter.
Cool. I actually think even though that you think that us Scandinavians like to travel to get sun and beach, I think actually many of us would actually like to go in the monsoon season to explore the greenish, because that is so far from our expectations of the Middle East. So I think actually both seasons could work very well for travelers from our region.
We do get a few those who are looking for a little bit more adventure, and it really is in the Kharif season. It really is a season for guests to be out of the destination, out of the hotels. They do come with 4x4s, or you can rent a 4x4. They do like to discover trails and tracks and go into the mountains. So yeah, there is, but I'd say maybe that's just a couple of percent of our international travelers coming to the destination.
Okay, cool. So there's actually just one question that Chris that just came in here. I'm just going to read it out loud. The question is, any hotels that would allow 2 adults plus 2 children in one room, and up to what age? And also, is there a general child policy? So because you mentioned something about adults only, but I guess we have hotels that would host children as well.
Yeah. So we do have rooms in Rotana that can also take 2 plus 2. But Fanar, most of the rooms can accommodate 2 plus 2. That would be 1 extra bed or a sofa bed, and then 1 child could share an existing bedding. But then again, we know that some Nordics prefer to have 2 separate beds. We do have also room types that we can have 2 extra beds, or an extra bed and a sofa bed.
Okay.
Child policy, it is under 12 considered children. And what was the other part of the question? I mean, yeah, so child friendly. The whole destination is very child friendly. All the hotels welcome children. Just Jumeirah, the boutique hotel, is the only hotel which we have as an adults only hotel, which is again 16 and above, 16 plus.
Okay. And are you considered a child up to what age? Is that 12 or is this?
Up to 12.
Okay. Awesome. I have another question. I know for Scandinavians, we like to have enjoy a glass of wine or a beer when we're traveling. At least some of us does. And I know you also do celebrate Ramadan when it's that time of year. But how strict is it in the hotels or in the area? Can you still enjoy a glass of wine if you want to?
Okay. Oman is a little bit more restrictive than, let's say, the UAE during Ramadan, definitely. So in Muscat or outside of the resort, outside our destination during Ramadan, certain restrictions have to be followed. You cannot drink or eat outside during the day. Because our destination is a gated community, we do still serve during Ramadan. We still serve alcohol and we still serve food during the day. So we try and control it by keeping the resort, the destination, only open to our international visitors. So we wouldn't have local visitors coming into the destination. It's not something I could say it's unofficial. There's within the Dhofar, so the area, the region of this part of Salalah is called Dhofar. So within this area, this region, we have an unofficial acceptance that we could continue serving because of the uniqueness of our destination, being able to restrict it. But officially, in Oman, you cannot eat and drink outside during Ramadan. But
Okay.
we have
Yeah.
our way of doing it.
Okay, good. I'll just look at Caroline. Is there any more questions in the chat? No, not at the moment. So Chris, I know you already gave a lot of good selling points for the destination, but if you could put like 3 words that makes Salalah stand out from other destinations, what would that be?
Amazing beaches, open to the Arabian Sea and the Indian Ocean. Amazing nature. Again, even if you visit during the winter where you don't have the rains and the rivers, there are still sometimes some waterfalls in the mountains that are still alive. But even if they're not, there is great nature to discover in the destination. And the warmth, again, I mean, the warmth of and the hospitality of the Omanis is very different to anywhere in the GCC. They're very welcoming. So again, if you go out to discover the destination, and also within our hotels, we have a lot of local Omanis working in the industry. Again, it's not like many of the other GCC countries where you're not going to find locals working in the service industry. They're all working in government. In Oman, it is there are a lot of locals working in the industry, so they bring that extra hospitality and warmth of their culture into the area.
Good, great. I have no more questions at my little notepad right here, but I just want to say that add to your presentation that even though we don't have any direct flights from our region at this point, hopefully there will be soon because it is a truly amazing destination. I just want to mention that, for instance, Qatar always have some really good connections via Doha. So I mean, even though you have to change your flight to get there, it's absolutely reachable and it's doable within an acceptable amount of hours, I would say. And again, Qatar Airways has some really good connections. I'm not getting paid for promoting Qatar Airways just because they actually do have good connection. But Chris, it was really good to have you with us today, and to all of you listening and viewing out there, we will share the presentation with you so you can share it with your colleagues. And if you have any questions about Salalah and the destination, you can send them to me, and I will share them with Chris, and then it will get back to you and answer all the questions you might have. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you, Chris, for being with us today.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Bye.
Bye-bye.